Hi, I'm Chip Flemmer, and welcome to my Faculty Management and Development presentation. Today, I'm going to share my model for leading and supporting online faculty, grounded in theory, practical strategies, and actionable solutions. Stay tuned. This is going to be good. Online learning has created some incredible opportunities, but it's also brought some incredible challenges too. Many teachers face feelings of isolation, the pressure of mastering new technologies, the difficulty of maintaining a balance between work and home life. As a leader, it's my responsibility to create systems of support that help these educators thrive in these new digital environments. Strong leadership doesn't just manage, it empowers, it connects, and it inspires teachers to grow. I'm going to take the approach that there's two leadership styles that really fit my personality, and I want to run with these. The first is transformational, the second is servant leadership. My leadership philosophy will blend both of these two leadership styles. I really want to inspire, have a vision, and motivate all of those that are around me, students and faculty. So, my why is I want to see everyone succeed. I want to encourage innovation and celebrate success. Servant leaders we'll explain in a little bit, but I'm going to start with transformational leaders first. Transformational leaders do just that. They want to transform their faculty, they want to transform their students in a positive manner. They want to see success and build on that. There was an article in the Frontiers of Psychology written by Angelina Cruz and Hyun Duk Kim. And in their research, they concluded that in online courses, instructors are positively associated with higher student satisfaction and engagement. I want to be one of those transformational leaders that motivates my students, gets them excited about learning, and they're engaged in what's going on. Servant leadership, on the other hand, they take time. You lead by listening. You take time and lead by supporting, removing those barriers. You're looking for relationships over roles. You're looking for human connections. You're getting to know your teachers, your staff, your students, get to know everybody around you. You're leading in a way that shows that you care. There was an article that was written about online classes. And the article in Online Learning back in 2018, it researched the relationship between instructors and servant leadership behavior styles. And they found that there was a significant prediction in satisfaction for those that were leading with servant leadership styles. So it's a positive thing. I want to do it, and that's how I want to lead. All right, now let's just talk about how am I going to actually apply this? How are we going to make this really happen? It's one thing to have some theories and have some great ideas, but like, what are we specifically going to do to make this work? My thoughts are with the transformational leadership style that I have to have a clear vision on this digital learning, making sure that all of our leaders, all of our teachers know the direction that we're going. I want to encourage my faculty to experiment with new instructional technologies, innovative technology teaching methods. Experiment with it. It's okay to mess up. We learn, we build, we get better. That's kind of going to be our approach. On the other side, with the servant leadership, it's important that the teachers have the tools, they have the professional development, the coaching, the time that they need to succeed. I got to build trust with them. It all comes down to, in both of these leadership styles mesh together, it's not about me controlling, it's about me empowering others to lead from where they're at. And that way we build that trust, we build that connection, and we build that great online teaching program for both students and for teachers. That's my goal. There's going to be some challenges we're going to have in online education and trying to address this with our educators and try to help them be successful. So, three of the big challenges that I see, one is faculty isolation. We'll talk about that a little more specifically. The second one would be a lack of training in online education. And then a third one's just going to be burnout and just being able to manage your workload in this new setting. So we'll talk about all three of those and figure out how can we fix this. The first challenge we're going to talk about is faculty isolation. It's, to me, one of the biggest challenges online educators face. You're not in a traditional school where you've got teachers up and down the hallway that you could go talk to whenever needed. You may not always collaborate with them, but you've got them there for support if needed. Research shows that many online educators feel disconnected to their peers, which can lead to a lower morale and even turnover. Like, I'm done with this. This is not a supportive setting for me. I'm moving on. We don't want that. We want to fix that. So you don't have the normal hallway conversations and that in-person collaboration. So it's easy to start feeling like you're working on an island. The way we're going to tackle this is we're going to have faculty learning communities. These are going to be small groups. We'll meet monthly. We'll share ideas and challenges, work with each other, have each other's back. Another thing we're going to do is we'll have some virtual collaboration tools, whether it's Teams or Zoom, just for a quick way to communicate and to share resources. And the third thing that I've got an idea for would be have little coffee chats. These are little virtual chats, informal, where the faculty can connect. We could celebrate wins, things that are going well in our classrooms, ask questions. It's just a way that we can try to prevent each other from feeling like we're isolated. We're together. We're doing this as a team. So that's how we're going to try to tackle faculty isolation. Another common challenge is going to be a lack of online teacher training. This is a very common issue because a lot of the instructors we're going to have are going to be really good. They're going to be experts in their content field, their subject matter, but not necessarily going to be experts with online teaching. It might be their first time ever doing it. So it's going to be something that they're going to need to have training and professional development at their fingertips just to kind of help them succeed. Research has found that without structured professional development, faculty does often struggle with these online course design, with digital engagement, and even with just basic working with instructional tools. So I want to ensure success of our faculty. So what I want to do is I want to invest in continuous and differentiated training. More specifically, two things I want to look at for a solution. So, item number one will be having a tiered professional development model. Whether our teachers are beginners, intermediate, or advanced with doing online education, we want to have the training and professional development at their fingertips. Another thing I want to have is a paired instructor or a design coach, I guess you could say, an instructional coach, one on one support, because you're going to get new teachers in there and they're going to be really good and they can pick things up really fast. But they just need to have somebody alongside with them if there's any questions, if there's just something that maybe they're not aware of, to kind of help take them to that level of being more comfortable and more successful as an online instructor. So, lack of online teacher training is important. We're going to work on that. Like I said, a tiered professional development model and have a pair to help kind of be an instructional designer or coach with these teachers. So, that's how we're going to try to address this and looking forward to that challenge. All right, now we'll come to our third challenge, which I think is a big one: faculty burnout and just being able to manage the workload. This has to be addressed. So, online teaching, and what that ends up doing a lot of times is it blurs the line between home and work because sometimes you're working at home or you don't necessarily have an office that you're working from. So, this can be one of those things where if you're at the school, yes, it's school time. When you're at home, maybe it's at home time and you're able to figure that out. But online learning, you're constantly getting emails, you're figuring out how to grade, and sometimes you're balancing not only the online classes, but you are working in a traditional setting as well. So it can easily lead to fatigue. Research does emphasize that burnout not only affects the teacher, but it also affects student learning. We don't want that to happen. We don't want the student learning to be impacted, but we really also don't want the teachers to get burned out. So how are we going to figure this out and fix it? Well, the solutions that I have is I definitely want to work with the teachers on data informed scheduling. Figure out how we're going to split this semester up. What are we going to focus on now? Don't overwhelm yourself where you end up with so much piled up on you at one time. Make sure you have flexible office hours. I know it's easy to just kind of always be available, but get yourself some flexible office hours where it works for you. Yes, we want to work for the student, but we also want to work for you too because you're important as the teacher. I also want to utilize, I know in the previous challenge, we had pairing up teachers with somebody that was really, really good for, data design or design of the courses, I should say. Let's get that person to also be a mentor and partnering with our teacher, figuring out how we can problem solve and avoid this burnout. So I know this approach is something that's going to be a challenge, but I feel like this also meets the servant leadership style that I have because it's important to care for your faculty. You don't want to see them, burned out and not able to be successful. I also think this matches the transformational leadership approach because you have to have a sense of purpose and support. If you don't have that support, it's going to be really easy to lose faculty. We want to keep our faculty and build them up and make them even better. Well, in conclusion, I feel like when you put this all together, when you combine transformational and servant leadership, this creates a powerful ripple effect. I want to see our faculty feel valued. I want to make them feel connected. innovative, do great things, and want to stay with us and just keep getting better and better in what they're doing. So it's all about building a great culture in the faculty. That's my goal. That's my vision. And that's kind of where I'm going with this. So I hope you guys like what we've got. I'm going to show you some references here in just a second where I found some of this research, but I'd love to have the opportunity to work with you and help lead you guys in your educational program and your online learning. Thank you.